Hey, what's up everyone? It's time for a guide on how to play Milo like a pro. Milo can best be described as a Shelly Pepper hybrid due to his mid to long range and his invulnerability active. He is the first character to have a focus spear, and this is a very important point of discussion, so let's start there. Milo's focus spear actually deals roughly 10% more damage than his bow, however the bow range is still slightly longer. For that reason, Milo can be broken down into two different playstyles. A strictly mid-range character where you have only Nitro Spear on him, or a mid to long range character where you use both Nitro Bow and Spear or just Nitro Bow. In my opinion, squad games are best for building around Nitro Spear, while solos, duos, and trios are best for building around Nitro Bow. Squad fights are most often fought in a close to mid-range proximity, while solos, duos, and trios fights will generally be at a longer range. Milo's bomb radius is also the largest in the game, tied with Pepper's, and for that reason it's imperative to take Molotov and Cluster Bomb when you're not playing squads. And finally, Vampire Teeth is necessary on Milo in all modes and will still outperform Happy Treats and Bandage. As far as comboing goes, you'll almost always want to throw your bomb and spear first before using your bow, as the enemy will generally have more distance between you post spear, and your bow has the longest range. Sometimes this isn't relevant though, as that assumption is based off of having equal quality bow and spear. So you see here that I have the legendary spear and a silver bow, which means that using the bow first may actually be better in some instances. But that's to say, whichever weapon has more range, you'll want to use second. Moving on to Milo's passive and active. Milo's passive in a nutshell is permanent holy sandals, and the water will always be safer than land for Milo, so make sure to utilize the terrain to your advantage as much as possible. Milo's active is a 2-second invuln with a refundable cooldown, which means you don't have to use it longer than you need to. I found that only using it to block the damage you need is best, as the longer you stay in his active, the easier it is for enemies to hit you. I found it's best to use Milo's active shortly after engaging a fight, as your opponent will no doubt fire back. If your opponent engages you, however, you'll want to gauge the situation and potentially save your active for the next round of attacks from your opponent, so as not to waste it when the enemy has already thrown everything at you on a particular rotation. Muscles and jungle shoes are also good on Milo, but require the sacrifice of defibrillator or cluster bomb in squads and all nitro items in other game modes, so these items come down to personal preference. That's all I've got for you guys on the technical side of things. The rest of the video will be commentary explaining my thought process and decision making to give you an idea of how everything is tied together. So my build in these games is Nitro Spear, Nitro Bow, Defibrillator, and Vampire Teeth. I think Defibrillator is one of the most powerful items in squads, if not the most powerful item. And I am GM5 as well, so muscles are not going to do much for me. We find the legendary bow here. At this point, I want to be firing my spear first before the bow. But in general, it will be quite good as long as you have high accuracy to use your weapons as much as possible. Venturing off from the team a little here, the last squad is likely just scattered around the map, so we won't be in too much danger on our own. Not the greatest barricade attempt there from either of us, but we do finish the match out strong. Okay, last game here, starting in the center house as usual. Center house is the best place to start in squad mode still. So here we're walking on the water, utilizing the passive. This particular body of water is probably the safest of anywhere on the map because it's so open and large. It'll be very hard for characters like Buck, Duke, Jade, Bruce, and other tanks and slow-moving characters to damage you while you're walking on the water. So we struggle a little bit with our active there, but we do manage to negate the knockback spear knockback at the end from that ollie. And we're looking to take this squad down. Our Molly has a tendency to throw her Joey, so we want to make sure that nothing to worry about. Joey is safe. Justice for Joey. Clearly, the Molly is jealous here that we can walk on the water and she can't, so she tries to barricade us. Some poor attempts there. We just kind of walk away. Squad's having a little fun with barricades, having a little moment. And we find the last buck right here. And that's gonna do it. That's all for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoy. Milo is kind of hard to learn mechanically, but once you get the hang of him, he's very, very fun to play and very strong. Until next time, happy hunting.